Hi there, this is Tony from Pianotone.ca, and this is going to be a totally unfair and yet fun and actually kind of interesting keyboard shootout between my two keyboards, my Casiotone CT-S1 keyboard and my Casio PX-S1100 digital piano. Let's check it out. So the Casiotone CT-S1 sells for about $220 US, and the Casio PX-S1100 sells for about $680 US. So this is in no way a fair comparison, but I thought it would be super interesting to compare Casio's AiX sound engine chip on the CT-S1 with the AiR chip that's on the PX-S1100. The AiX sound chip is found on Casio's best sounding portable keyboards. You're going to find it on their older CTX lineup, the 700, 800, 3000, and 5000. And it's also used on the brand new Casiotone line that includes the CTS1, the CTS400, 500, and 1000V. And from what I understand, the AiX chip is also used on what you could call the PXS1100's little brothers, the newly released Casio CDP-S360 and 160 digital pianos. And truth be told, that's actually the main reason for me doing this video. The CDP-S360 I find to be a very interesting option to the PXS1100 because it's cheaper and it has a much nicer user interface with a menu screen. It's got far more sounds and it's got arranger features built in. And from what I've heard, it has a similar action. The only big downgrades in my eyes are the lack of line out ports and then possibly the fact that it has the AiX sound chip instead of the AiR sound chip, so hence this comparison. So I have my CTS1 connected from the headphone port on the CTS1 with a splitter cable to one channel's line in ports on my new Yamaha mixer. And I've got my PXS1100 connected to another channel's line in ports on the mixer using two TR cables from the line out ports on my piano. Then the mixer is connected with balanced TRS cables to my new Volt audio interface for the recording. So in order to try and get the best comparison possible for the main piano sounds especially, my first example is actually going to be using a demo song that happens to be built into each keyboard. That will remove any of my playing inconsistencies from the equation. Although after that, I will subject you to some of my playing inconsistencies, testing out the main piano, 60s electric piano, an organ, and a piano bass combo. So get ready. So what did you think? Sounds are super personal, and I do love the sounds on both of these, and I do think that the sounds on the CT-S1 are absolutely fantastic. Like, for the price, they're amazing. But I do think that the sounds on the PX-S1100 are a touch better. They just seem to have a bit more detail and nuance in them, in particular as you change your playing velocity. You can hear finer differences in the PX-S1100, at least in my opinion. And I also think the decay on the PX-S1100 is just a touch more natural sounding. One thing I'm very curious about, though, is whether any of that is due to having finer control over velocity with a fully weighted and graded keyboard as opposed to the synth action on the CT-S1. I do really like the CT-S1's action for a portable keyboard because it's heavier than normal, and it does almost have a semi-weighted feel, but it's still not the same as a fully weighted action. But all that being said, are the AiR sounds 3 times better than the AiX? Probably not. And while the differences may stand out a bit more in a pure solo piano piece, if you're playing piano with backing tracks or in a band, some of those nuances might not be picked up anyways. So where does that leave the comparison? Well, for me, it leaves me really wanting to get my hands on a Casio CDP-S360 to do a full review on it. I'd really like to test out that action compared to my PX-S1100 and also see how the AiX chip performs with a fully weighted graded hammer action, where there may be a bit more control over the velocity. See what kind of a difference that makes. I do love my PX-S1100, but I have to admit I would absolutely love to have the CDP-360's menu screen and user interface, not to mention the arranger features, even just for having some handy rhythms to practice with. So I've got links below to my reviews on the CT-S1 and the PX-S1100 if you want to check those out. And I also have affiliate links to these keyboards as well as to the CDP-S360 on Amazon if you want to check out current prices. So thanks so much for checking this video out, and happy piano playing and piano shopping. Have a good one.